Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 7th. In your first position here, we're going to look at your current general energies. And you have this full moon in Libra that says finding balance, and this first quarter moon in Libra that says keep an open heart. So I do feel that this could actually be talking about love. Because you have the Queen and King of Cups here, and so if you want love, I kind of feel it's just encouraging you to stay open to it. But it is also interesting. Damn, this is a good reading here, Cancer. Number one, but number two, this Ace of Swords I feel is talking about balance. The Ace of Swords has these 6 golden yods on either side of the sword, and those, of course, represent balance. They are perfectly balanced on the sword. And so I kind of feel for some of you, if this is love, number one, it could be with a water sign. It could be a Scorpio. It could be any sign. It could also be a Taurus as well. But I feel like it's saying don't rush into something here. This looks a little bit scary. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, although I don't think, I feel like some of you maybe have gone through a separation or a breakup because, again, this over here is kind of saying keep your heart open instead of keeping it closed, which is kind of like what we see at the end. We're going to have to dig into that. Again, what I would say is that everyone had the tower in the November reading, so, it could just be like a global tower moment, and the reading itself could be encouraging you to not allow that to mess things up. But these first 2 cards are very good. I mean, the whole reading really is good except for that last row. But again, don't get too scared yet. We're going to look into it. So I feel this is saying, balance things out. I also feel it's like if maybe you overgive in relationships, and this is kind of like saying, okay, you have like something new coming in, and don't overgive this time, or kind of make sure you're giving in balance. Again, you have the King and Queen of Cups, the Ace of Swords as well in this first row. I kind of feel also that this could be a situation that's coming in for you that's asking you to balance things out. It's like there's something that has to be let go of here is kind of the feeling I get. The Ace of Swords can represent a sacrifice. You have this palm frond right here, and then you have an olive branch over here. The palm fronds in the tarot can represent sacrifice or cutting something out, and the olive branch can represent like peace, harmony, an offer of peace, an apology, but it can also represent abundance as well. And I kind of feel that I'm wondering if some of you are holding on to something that you think is good, but maybe it's not, right? Maybe you need to kind of let something go so that you can have something better. And we actually kind of can see this on the King of Cups. The King of Cups represents very deep emotions, but he has this boat right here. That boat on the King of Cups represents going to uncharted territory, or, going on a journey. And it's funny you end with the ocean card that says distance and journey on it. Just putting it all together. Again, that boat on the King of Cups, it kind of represents a time where we used to get on boats as humans, and like we wouldn't actually know if we were going to run into land or not, right? Before we had maps and all that other stuff. So it kind of represents going into our uncharted territory. So maybe some of you are sacrificing like a relationship and you don't know if you're going to find another one. Maybe you're leaving a job and you don't know if you're going to find another one. I kind of feel those 2 Libra moon cards are saying, number one, obviously keep your heart open and not closed. 3 of Swords at the end, because if you have a closed heart, you're not going to attract anything new. And I'm not even talking about just love here. I'm talking about everything. But I also feel it's saying that you need to go towards your heart. It's like sometimes I think we stay in relationships, for example, that we know aren't working because we don't want to be alone. But then you're closing off your heart when you do that, right? You're not living in abundance when you do that. So I kind of feel this is encouraging you to move more towards abundant thinking and realize that there are tons of opportunities for you, and it's time to move towards abundant opportunities. Let's see. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. Yep, more adventure cards. Knight of Wands can be an inconsistent energy, but again, I think the focus here for you, Cancer, is spontaneous energy. He's very spontaneous. He gets a new opportunity, he just takes it, and he figures it out as he goes. I get that energy for you where, you could be doing some learning as you go, or you could be figuring things out as you go, and that's perfectly fine. I feel you need to embrace the energy of learning as you go in like work, business, and otherwise. With the Ace of Swords, you have the, what is this? The Hangman. Yeah, you've been waiting for something. See, it's like sometimes I think we ask the universe for something, and maybe we don't maybe we kind of don't want to do it, but we also do. And I'm going to give you an example, right? It's like maybe you have a relationship, maybe it's okay, but maybe you start thinking that you should leave, or you start thinking like, oh, this person, I'm starting to get annoyed with the same old dad jokes every single day. So maybe it's time that I take a hike, right? I can't, so it's like you kind of start maybe thinking like, oh, I can't take this person any longer, like if you're with a person, right? And I'm not saying this like it has to be like a toxic thing or something, but I think we all do it, right? Like in the back of our mind, where we get to that point where we kind of know that maybe something isn't going to work, but we stay anyway and all this other stuff. And I kind of feel that here, where it's like I feel like you have all the information you need, right? So if it's a relationship, I feel like you know. With the King of Cups, you have the Devil. Could be a Capricorn coming in for some of you. But I also feel that, again, it's almost like this is the part where it's almost like it's the part before it becomes toxic, Like I said, you're starting to have those thoughts in your head like, uh-oh, this person's, not what they used to be. I think you have two options here. I feel like you could communicate with the person, right? You go 8 of Wands to the 4 Cups. I don't like that 4 Cups, but if you're dealing with a person and you still love them, then as I always say, I think it's much better to communicate with the person, even if it's going to hurt their feelings, right? To tell them like, hey, we got to, kind of do something to keep the romance alive here. I think there's nothing wrong with communicating that. The only thing I don't like is that 4 Cups. 4 Cups goes both ways for me, because it's like he has those 4 Cups in front of him. He's kind of manifesting things that he wants, but he needs to mix those cups together. He needs to grab onto the cup and do the work. So we're going to have to see if this is a person, are they going to do work? For others, I don't think this is a person, but I think you have to move on to a new opportunity in like work or business. Next, in the area of what are you doing? Oh yeah, the unexpected. You have this Elves card. It says playfulness. You have this Foggy Bog card. It says patience on it. So I feel that I actually feel this is you. I feel like you are being very patient. I would embrace that playful energy as well, because a lot of people have been getting cards that kind of represent your inner child. And, I think things have gotten too serious in general. I talk about this all the time. So I think that sometimes when things get too serious, the universe is like, hey, you need to add in some fun. You need to add in some play, because we need to get the energy moving the other direction. You have the 2 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles here. You're definitely taking the lead, and I feel like you're kind of looking off into the distance. Everything here kind of strikes me as a move, or moving on. Take it how it resonates. You have the 2 of Wands, the Ocean card, the King of Cups. You have the Tower, which could just be moving. But, the story of the 2 of Wands is that he is standing at the top of his castle, and he rushed to accomplish everything that he has accomplished. So he kind of rushed to a finish line, and he didn't enjoy the process. So now he thinks like, oh my God, there's nothing else I can do in my life. I have no other opportunities. But he actually has a ton of opportunities. He's got the whole world in his hands. So he kind of needs to leave a comfort zone to find new opportunities. He has to leave a comfort zone to see that there are other ways of living life that could be much more exciting for him. And I kind of get that feeling for you. You have the 8 of Wands here. 8 of Wands is communication. I don't feel like totally unexpected, but I do feel that you could be getting an offer because you have the Ace of Pentacles in this row as well. And this could be an offer in work or business. And it could be a little unexpected. Maybe you kind of feel it, but kind of also don't. And that's like the type of offer I'm feeling here, where maybe, but I'm also getting that what's unexpected is maybe someone at work or business turns down the offer and then they go to you. So I'm not saying that you're second choice here, but in like work or business, I'm getting something about like maybe someone turns it down, or maybe someone's like, actually, no, I quit. And then they give you the offer. Looks pretty good to me. I mean, I would take it if I were you. I also feel that this is things moving very quickly, and I feel you could be noticing that, where it's like you're noticing days are going by quicker and all this other stuff. I feel a little anxious about it, and I also feel that the Ace of Pentacles could be just something that you want in your life. The Ace of Pentacles is normally an offer from God. This is the hand of God reaching out with this big pentacle. I always say that it just represents a giant opportunity, but it only represents potential. We have to take that pentacle and we have to plant it into the ground. We have to take care of it and nurture it into existence, meaning we have to take care of this opportunity that could be coming in for us. And look, if we go here, you have Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant to the Tower. I almost feel that this is also a fear. I'm not going to lie to you. I get a ton of stuff going on with this Tower in your reading here, Cancer. So it wouldn't surprise me if you're in a little bit of a chaotic energy right now. And again, the thing is, I think you can handle it. Here's the thing is if this is a work offer, I feel like you're fearing that you don't have the knowledge to handle it. But the Hierophant is education. The Tower is, again, the fear that, that there's like this big change. I'm not going to be able to handle it. But I actually feel like you can. So, I feel this is saying like just slow things down, take your time. And, again, if your boss comes to you and is like, hey, Janice quit. We want you to be the manager. I would just say yes and learn as you go here, Cancer, because, I feel it's going to be really good for you. Let's see. With the Two of Wands, you have the Star. I get this like back of my brain wishing for something, wishing that something would happen, and then it manifests very quickly. So be careful what you wish for with the Star. At the same time, I feel you could be going through healing after a loss. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Cups. You also have the Four of Cups. It's like disappointments. When I get the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups in the same row, which we see right here, Five of Cups, Four of Cups, to me this can definitely say that something hasn't worked out how you wanted it to. Something didn't go according to plan. We're gonna have to look more into that. I'm not really picking up on anything about that. With the Ace of Pentacles, look at this. You have the Empress. Love it. Definitely an abundant opportunity coming in for you. Again, I feel a little rushed. I feel like I'm having to make decisions very quickly here. I feel like I'm not ready as well, if I'm being honest with you. But again, I feel like you are. So if you get an abundant opportunity to do something, I would go for it. It could shake up your foundation a little bit with that Tower card. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure in your November reading, I did say to you, I think it was you, that I said like there could be an opportunity coming from a distance, but like your boss wants you to move or travel, be a little bit of a shakeup. I feel like maybe it's not exactly clear how you're going to do it either. Like maybe your boss can't like exactly pay you to move, but they want you to move and you're like, okay, I need like some money. But I don't know. I think some things could be worked out here. So I would look into it because I just get this feeling that if that story is for you, it's going to be a very abundant future. So I would take it. Next what are we doing? What's coming towards you? You have this Deep Knowing card and this Chop Wood card, work. So I feel like there's a lot of busyness coming in for you. I also feel that it's kind of like you're very intuitive and tapped in. You have the Seven of Cups, and so you can see things clearly. I think you are very good at looking at an opportunity in the near future. Maybe not this week, but kind of as we move through, this month and then into next month. It's like things are becoming very clear to you. I think you are on this whole new level of understanding. That's literally what's popping into my head. That Deep Knowing card, I feel, is attached to the Hierophant in this row. This reading is kind of weird because it's actually like very clear, but also like a little chaotic, right? The Hierophant says, you can learn as you go. You've experienced this before. Those are the words I feel like saying. You have the Four of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Seven of Cups. I also think it's interesting that you have these two sevens here. Two sevens is internal fears that don't exist, so definitely time to let your fears go. What I would also say is that I feel a lot of you need to realize that you can learn about a new situation. I think it is uncomfortable to, have to learn something new. And what I mean by that is that for some of you, I also feel this could be love. And but I feel the new thing that you're learning is a new type of person. Like maybe you always go for the same type of person. We all do this, right? We all usually go for the same type of person because we know what we're going to get. We know exactly how things are going to end as well. So that's why we always pick people with like the same traumas or whatever, because it's easy for us. I kind of feel you're being pushed to go for what is hard, to go for a relationship that maybe forces you to grow, forces you to learn. And the scary thing here, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords, is that you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know like what's on the other side. And I feel this is encouraging you to graduate, to learn, to kind of, have your glow up here, right? You have the Empress. You also have the Four Cups. I get a million things here as well. I feel for some of you, a person, the grass wasn't greener on the other side for them. Some of you could have been dealing with a situation like that. For others, I get this like energetic exchange where you're trying to decide if you want to put energy into new situations in the first place. You're like, is it worth it for me to mix all the cups together? Is it worth it for me to do all the work in a relationship and have it go nowhere? And so you're really trying to figure that out. And again, I'm going to have to clarify to see what's going on here. I kind of feel that meditation, slowing down your thoughts would be a very good idea with the Seven of Cups, because he's looking at all those cups, and this could actually be one thing that he's dreaming of, but there's some good things and bad things in these cups. And he's like saying, do I really, he's kind of weighing his options. He's saying, do I really want to invest in another love situation or another business or another career when I know that, it could be good, it could be bad. The trick with the Seven of Cups is focus. If we focus on exactly what we want, that's what we're going to get. If we allow those thoughts to creep in of like, oh, this person's going to cheat on me just like the last one or whatever, then that's what we're going to get. So we need to not do that. With the Four of Cups, you have the Ten of Swords. Something's dead, done, over with. Definitely, I kind of feel this could be this relationship that we were talking about in the beginning for some of you. Some of you, this has already ended. For others, I feel this, and again, if this message is for you, it's already ending. People always ask me, like, oh, I've been in a relationship for 10 years. Does it mean this is coming to an end? Well, if the story matches, then yes, but maybe. But if the story doesn't match, then no, this is not for you. But especially if things are going well. If things are going well, obviously, trust me, you don't want to be running around on these streets, as I keep saying. With the Hierophant, you have the Nine of Swords. A little scary at the end here. Again, Nine of Swords is like going round and round in your head. It is waking up, from a nightmare and then still being in a nightmare. So I would say get out of your head. I am also getting something about, here's the thing, is that the Nine of Swords is a clue card to me. It's a clue for like part-time work, temporary work, contract work. So if you do any of those types of work or even a holiday work as well, if you do any of those like part-time type positions or if you're looking for something like that, really good for that. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing at this time. I wouldn't rush into anything. I would take your time. We have too many retrogrades at the end of this year, and then we kind of get boned at the end of the year as well because Mercury goes retrograde again after practically everything starts turning direct, which is, crazy. But I just wouldn't rush. At the end here for messages from your future self, you have this Luck and Money card. It's a coins card. It says Luck and Money. You have this Ocean card. It says Distance and Journey. So like I said, I definitely feel some of you could be getting a position from a distance in work or business. And I feel like it could be very abundant for you. I feel like there could be a lot of success in it for you as well. So I would definitely get moving towards any new abundant situations in work or business. Or if you get an opportunity from a distance, then I would definitely take it. Again, the Tower can just be a move, and the Three of Swords could be separation. It's like it's like one of those things. Maybe you get a big opportunity, you don't really want to move, but then you have to move, so you're kind of like sad about it. I definitely get that for some of you. It's like maybe you'd have to leave a person behind, but it's like, I think you need to think of your future life with that Seven of Cups and say, what is my ultimate future, and does it align with a person? I do kind of get a difficult decision being made here, Cancer. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I feel like sometimes in life we have to say, like, what's more important, a relationship with this person or my career, right? I definitely feel that for some of you here, where you could be making a decision between the two things. The thing about the Tower, you have the Tower of Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords, is that the Tower is happening for two people. But, one person, this guy's like choosing to jump out. This person's kind of caught off guard. So some of you could be choosing to jump out of the Tower, take a leap of faith, go towards something new, and maybe the other person's caught off guard, but I mean, it's not your fault necessarily. I would also say that, again, this could just represent a move. The Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but here's the thing, is that he's stealing those swords from this army in the background. Personally, I consider the Seven of Swords to be a good card. It is a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are always meant to be positive. And so he's just doing things differently. He's being tactical, and he's not just going to war. So, I feel there's a little bit of like a need for tactics in any situation that you could be leaving at this time. You have the Three of Swords as well. Again, heartbreak. I mean, I think we can make decisions that are good for us that also lead to heartbreak. I know that sounds weird maybe to some of you, but it's like if you get a big opportunity and you really want it and it matches up with your vision for your future life and you have to like leave a person, or maybe you just have to move and maybe that makes you sad because you're leaving your home, the place that has always been your home or whatever. It's like I think these opportunities can make us sad, but again, they also lead to growth and abundance. So there you go. With the Tower, you have the Page of Cups. Could also just be love coming in for you, and this could just be a surprise with the Tower. The Tower does not have to be a bad thing, as I always say. Could be a Scorpio coming in for you. For others, again, normally the Page of Cups is holding that cup, and there's a fish in the cup. That fish represents an opportunity. I always say that he needs to grab onto that fish. I feel like there's like a big surprise opportunity coming in for you here. And again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It could cause a little bit of pain in the sense that maybe you have to leave something that has been established in your life for a long time. But the two wants, I always say on that two wants, it's like he's got a certain sense that there's more for him in the future. He's got the world in his hands. It's like he's maybe satisfied, but it's like, do you want to just be satisfied in life, or do you know that there's something more for you? And, I feel like that's what this reading is asking you. That's what I get here. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a turnaround. Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe. And I always say the gift we usually receive is obstacles being removed from our life. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be certain obstacles that are being removed from your life at this time. Love it. And finally, with the Three of Swords, you have two cards here, actually. You have the High Priestess and the Three of Swords. Some of you could definitely be leaving a Pisces. Again, with the Ace of Swords, you have the Hangman, and you have the Hangman, or High Priestess here. So some of you could be leaving a Pisces. For others, I feel like you need to trust your intuition. Some of you could be a little bit withdrawn at this time. The High Priestess, she normally has her back to the world. Where she's sitting, that's actually one theory we have for the High Priestess. And what I would say is that I feel like some of you maybe are feeling a little bit isolated. I feel like this reading is asking you to focus on the star and also the Page of Cups, like a big opportunity that could be coming in for you. But I also feel it's asking you to kind of like keep your heart open. That first card says, first quarter moon in Libra, keep your heart open. I feel like having an open heart and kind of like Esther Hicks calls it joyous expectation, right? Where it's like things might be a little chaotic in the world, which we already know. Towers come up for everybody again. Right? And so I think when we get into that mode, it's very heavy kind of energy, right? I feel like we need to be patient and just, again, have joyous expectation. Be very happy for the potential of something new coming in. I'm going to pull 3 cards now, and I'm going to answer one question. So if you have a question, feel free to pause and think of your question. If you don't have a question, I'm going to put all 3 cards together just as a personalish reading. So feel free to pause because I'm going to read these right now. You have the Four of Swords, the World, and the Seven of Wands. I mean, literally sums up the reading. So some of you have been on a break. The World is completion. The Seven of Wands is defending your position at the top of a hill. But it could also be defending your ideas, right? Or defending a new idea. I feel there's a big accomplishment coming in for those of you that are looking to accomplish something. But if you're looking to move, I would definitely move at this time with this energy. I feel like you're waiting for some blessings to come in. For some of you, I also feel like you need to stick with something. It's like, some of you might be asking, like, is it worth working on this for any longer? Feels like work or business to me. And I would say yes. I feel like this is saying don't quit before you get your reward. And, that energy has been coming up a lot this year for a lot of people. I've said that before, maybe to you. Like, don't quit before you get what is yours. And I feel like that's what this is asking. Pretty interesting stuff. Love it. So thank you for being here, Cancer. I really appreciate it. It's going to be interesting to see what comes up for the rest of the month. So thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.